Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to myself and Josh. We are covering the Toon Girls today. It's the Tyne and Weird derby. But like I say, just before we go, I mean, it's very early for Josh over there in America, to be fair. Midday for myself. Well, not midday, it's dinner, it's just post dinner, wherever you are. You're more than welcome to join us. But before we get into the teams and everything else, let's just make sure we do the housework correctly. And for you guys that are watching, feel free to join along. And obviously, when we get to the points that help us as a channel, if you can perform your little duties, that will help us along the way. So again, welcome to everybody watching on all the platforms. Thanks to all the mods working tirelessly in the background. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoy the show, or even dislike if you don't. It just helps us get a little bit further as a channel to other NUFC supporters. Subscribe, it's totally free. Hit that bell for any future content. We do 7 days a week content. So as soon as we upload a video, you will be notified. If you want to support us and help us grow as a channel, then you can become a member for a small monthly fee. And that gives you a chance for behind the scenes content and a winner prize at the end of each month. But don't forget to check out our webpage, nufctalk.tv, for news and content. That's totally ad free. We do that for the love of the club. If you have a question for myself or Josh, then try and put a Q in front of that question and we'll highlight it. And if it's relevant, then we'll obviously have a discussion about it. Apologies for all not mentioning everybody's chat. Obviously, you guys like to talk to each other in the background. But if you want to guarantee it, then use the $sign. Follow the instructions, and that will guarantee that message to be read out. You can also obviously use a super chat. And again, that will be read out and thanked as we go on. All new members and gifted memberships will be highlighted and thanked during the show. Good morning, Josh. Obviously, it's a little bit early over there. He's just got himself a nice cup of coffee. Bit of a lazy day for myself, to be fair. We've had a little bit of sad news in the family, so we've been dealing with a crisis as always. Trying to sort out the children, but as always, when it comes to the girls, we need to give them the support that they need. And obviously, for us, it's a new thing. It's something that you've been doing for a year and a half now. I know you went to the cup final and stuff. And for me, it's a bit of a newer thing because, I wanted to give them a little bit of a look. So I managed to get to a couple of the Midlands games last season, and I was pleasantly surprised, mate. To be fair, and I know, yourself, you've got probably a little bit more in-depth knowledge than myself, and I know you were itching for us as a channel to obviously have a look a bit more in depth at the girls and obviously see what we can do to support them. And for myself, I wanted to balance the books. I think it's absolutely right. I think I concentrate more on the academy. If I'm honest with you, I do like to look at how the boys are doing, so I follow the academy a little bit more than I do the girls. So I think between us, we could probably get something out of the show. So what I want to do then, Josh, because obviously you know these girls better than myself. I may not know them, but not as depth knowledge-wise as yourself. So if you want to go through the teams, we obviously are away at the Mackhamland. We've sold out all the allocation of tickets, and they have obviously only sold something like 1,200 or something like that. So it's still gonna feel like a home game for us.
Listen, plenty of open seats for the Seagulls to come take it in.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's probably going to be a little bit sparse when it comes to the crowd, if I'm honest, because obviously we are going to be stuck in a corner. But I'll let you go through the teams then, buddy, and then you can give me your knowledge on each and every one of them.
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing that jumped out to me on our starting lineup is no Leah Cataldo. I have been a little absent this past week because I was on a trip with some family. So I may have missed some news. Maybe she had a little knock or something that I missed. So maybe that could be easily explainable. So if anyone in the chat knows that one, feel free to correct me and let me know what's going on with Cataldo. But I would say for the most part, the names I'm seeing is who we would expect and has kind of become the main players. Obviously, we've got Moan back in the net, one of many and the most recent to make the shift to the better side of the Tyne side. And Then we have Demi Stokes, former England international. She's been playing down the left, I think, pretty much all season. She's looked quite solid. She actually scored our goal that we're going to talking about in a little bit against Everton.
Everton, yeah, it's a cracking goal, to be fair.
She had a nice finish in that game that we'll get to. Keegan Stobbs, I'm blanking on her first name. I don't want to say wrong. Amber, I think. Amber Keegan Stobbs. But for some reason I'm doubting myself, and maybe it's Amanda.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I think it's Amber. But anyways, she's our captain. She's great. If you are a member of The Athletic, George Colkin talks with her a lot. She's given some good interviews. Her last name, Keegan, she was named that after Kevin Keegan, because her family is such diehard Geordies. So fun fact for you. So she was all too happy, or she was thrilled to come back last season and join the Toon and play for this famous black and white. Then we have, I'm so bad with first names. I want to say it's Olivia Watt. She will be one of, I believe, the center backs, one of our existing players going back to last season, because Stokes, Moan are both new signings this offseason. And we have Alicia Body in the midfield. She's had a pretty decent go so far in the championship, I should say. Then we have another one of the new signings, Shayna Hales. She's been... She scored 2 and 2 the first 2 weeks, was out the gate. She's had some good opportunities as well that she's failed to put away, but definitely lots of potential there. And I would definitely put your eyes on her as the game goes today. Probably a good candidate to putting the ball in the net. She plays like an attacking midfield position typically. So that would be my assumption. Then we've got Rachel Furness, Northern Ireland international, quite well known in the women's game. To be honest, it'll be interesting to see where she's played. They've kind of made her into a center back of late. Her career, she's played in the midfield from what I've been reading, but they've been playing her. I think her first appearance was either the Portsmouth game or the Everton game. She didn't start some of the early ones, but they were playing her at center back. And actually, if you go on the team's website, they did a little interview with her. And she was talking about that shift. And also, to answer Barbara's question real quick, Barbara, I think it is going to only be on YouTube because it's on the Barclays Women's Championship thing. Oh, Stephen also needs the link. Apparently.
Okay, I'll sort that out for you. No problem.
Yep. So yeah, going along, another one of our new signings, Amanda Sibley. She has been electric on the right wing so far. Really liking what I've been seeing from her. I think she's within a shout of best signings / best performers so far this season. Every time she's been coming on, at least in the games I had watched up to this point, a lot of times as a impact sub. But yeah, it's looking really good from her. I'm liking the returns. She's quickly becoming one of my new favorites, one I'm contemplating for my next women's jersey and who I'll get put on. And then we got 3 veterans of the team. So we got Jazz McQuaid, who's one of our kind of youth squad dynamic. She's came up through our youth academy, if I believe I remember correctly. She was playing for the development women's squad and things like that. And she's just been absolutely lighting it up. She does not look out of place at all in the women's championship. She's even against Everton last week, she looked, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, she looked solid, and she's put away a couple goals, but she's been, I don't know if it would be a fair assessment to say kind of like our Bruno. I don't think she's quite as defensively minded as Bruno is, but she kind of like, it feels like most of the time when something builds through the midfield and happens positively, it's almost always feels like it's going through McQuaid right now.
Yeah, McQuaid, I must admit, she's been, for me, she's probably been the standout.
Yeah,
I've looked, you know, I've looked at a lot of them. She seems a lot controlled on the ball. She seems comfortable. She likes to head up in the, in the air. She's always looking for the outlet, and she draws players on, and that makes space in behind. So, yeah, I must admit, she seems to me as if she's been the one to watch going forward. So when you, I mean, I watched the Everton game, and I was, against the WSL team. I was expecting a little bit more of a tougher game, and I was so surprised to see our girls actually take the game to Everton. And
yeah,
like
they
you
really
said,
did.
Stubbs, he's really getting a cracking goal. Left-footed shot into the right-hand corner,
Yeah,
low and hard, past the keeper, and it looked like it was going to be our night.
yeah,
Everton, obviously, in the second half, Everton then played a little bit more on the pressure side of things, really
mhm,
started to pen us back, and we were looking at that counter attack more than
yeah,
anything else. And I suppose they deservedly got the equaliser, if
yeah,
you were going to measure it. Um, Sad side of life, if it wasn't great for us on the penalties.
yeah.
I thought
No,
the
that was
penalties
unfortunate.
was a bit of a
Yeah,
shame. But like again, it's about experience, isn't it? And for a lot of these girls. Are you, Stevie? You okay, buddy?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good
yeah.
afternoon, matey.
Afternoon.
So yeah, so for me, it was a shame, but it was damn good experience and
Yeah,
our first point. And like I say, in a tough division, if I'm honest.
yeah,
So in that little semi-group in the cup competitions, it is going to be tough. But to
yeah.
actually hold our own against Everton, I thought the girls did well. They did themselves proud. So
Yeah,
I
they
was I
definitely did
was well impressed.
themselves proud. I mean, one of the things, and only because I didn't quite get to the last two, but you're all good. Potts and Lumsden, Beth Lumsden scored our first goal of the championship season.
Yeah,
So that was a real acrobatic one. So she's also been playing well, but I think they've been kind of rotating her because I think when I was watching the Durham highlights, I saw her over on the left, but I
yeah,
know on that opening week she was playing on the right. So Beth Lumsden, pretty dynamic and can offer you multiple things. And then obviously Charlotte Potsy, another one of the stalwarts of the squad for the past couple seasons. She was one of the early signings after the takeover. She actually has been with us since late of the very first promotion season. I think she was a January signing and stuff, but she's been a regular. I mean, if you've been to the games, her mom is a legend. She's the one banging the drum. Bernie, that's Potsy's mom and everything. So she's, it's a great thing. Unfortunately, I can't see the whole subs bench with the way it's snipped. I
yeah, yeah.
see Greenwood, I see Amy Andrews, and stuff
Easy
like
fixed.
that.
Yeah, yeah. Let's have a
But
quick look at that. I was just looking at some photos
yeah,
of the crowd at the minute. I
first
was
of
just having
all,
a look at.
thank you so much, all of you watching, all 160 of you. Please, please, please hit that
It's
like
that
button
like
or
button,
dislike
indeed,
button, even if you don't like what we're doing. Just it helps us know how to better serve the Toon Army.
indeed, indeed. I am just having a quick look at the bench. We've gone through. So we've got Donnelly in goal, Hawkins as well. So again, she's gone for the Eddie Howe work. So she's got two keepers on the bench,
Yep.
with Barker, Gibson, Elson, Greenwood, Andrews, Haywood, and Joel supporting
Yep.
role.
That would be pretty
Um,
much the bench I would expect.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So it's funny how Becky's gone for a two goalkeeper bench, the same as Eddie Howe does. Um,
I think it might be injury related. I think there's
yeah,
one.
there's a couple
The
still
fact that
coming back though.
Cataldo's not even on the bench to me indicates I might be missing a injury because Leah Cataldo is definitely someone who's featured a good bit so far versus the championship squads. There's a couple other names that I'm kind of a little surprised that I wouldn't see. I think like Emma Kelly, but I think Emma Kelly's also maybe hurt. Did you say Emma Kelly?
She was on the road back, wasn't she?
Yeah,
she's been injured for a while now, bless her. And now she's doing the hard yards. And again, it just proves the depth of the squad these days, because Emma Kelly would have been a massive miss last year.
Yes. And
obviously coming into this year, even though we've missed her for the depth of the squad, they filled in very, very well. Now you were talking. I mean, I've watched like the likes of SofaScore try and put a team out for Becky's 11, and as like per the Durham game, it's a bit mismatched. But again, this is where I think the likes of Becky has done a lot of work alongside Eddie, because it's a very fluid system. What I see is everybody wants to play in the pockets of space, and nobody sits still. If you watch a lot of the teams that we've played against so far, we've had a lot of teams that just sit in that, quite strategic 4-4-2 or 4-3-1-2, or whichever way they want to do it, and they don't really move from the positions that they've got. Everybody seems to have a job. Where with Becky, she seems to have, again, this fluidity amongst the team, where players will always sit in when somebody else goes forward, and I actually love that.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because I definitely don't think it's going to be what SofaScore built. I mean, it could be that formation, but there's no way Jazz McQuaid is playing left wing back.
Left wing, no, exactly.
I don't think I've ever seen McQuaid in the back line.
No,
and I also don't think I've seen in Isabel Sibley. So I apologize. I said Amanda Sibley earlier. Isabel Sibley.
Isabel Sibley.
So bad with the first names, but they have her in the back line too. I don't think I've ever seen her there.
No. None of the lineups seem to be right when it comes to the women's football.
Yeah,
no, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't get them right at all. They just take a guess because they don't know what their positions are half the time or whatever. I mean, they just.
Yeah, I mean, God bless him, but the guy during Portsmouth, I don't know if he was given bad notes or what, but he was like had half of the surnames wrong. I mean, he was calling Katie Barker Katie Baker, and he did it for like a half. So I'm assuming he must have just had a bad note sheet given to him. Because listen, in all fairness, as much as I follow them and I get it, like I can understand, they're trying to build this. Probably many of these people that are doing commentary and stuff like that are quote unquote mercenaries, if you will, trying to get their foot into the door of commentary as a whole. So they probably don't per se follow it, but it was just like some of those little things. Definitely, I mean, very impressed with what the Barclays Women's Championship has done for coverage so far. But there still are some little kinks they could try and work out on that front.
Yeah, it's just a shame you can't follow every game, isn't it? I would have thought they would have managed to obviously. Instead of highlighting, like this one's going to be highlighted because it's the Tyne and Weird derby, we know that. But to try and make it bigger, Win keeps alluding to that every team should have its own camera system. Now, do you think we are missing a trick here, or is it something that the club's been told they can't do? Because obviously before they became an outfit as big as they are
I think it probably maybe has something to do with the fact that the league itself is trying to show games.
They're
are
trying
times
to get the balance.
Where trying to respect the coverage, they're doing that. However, I'm pretty sure I heard for the WSL game, or for the Women's Cup game that we had against Everton, I believe they allow Newcastle to put it on the app as well as having it on whatever streaming they put it on. So in general, from what I've heard and the little bit and to be fair, you know, and to give credit where it's due, most of the news I get on that kind of front comes via Newcastle Fans TV. You know, they lead the way on women's coverage. You know, massive shout out to them, to Joe, to Lee. They're both excellent blokes I've met. But anyways, they were talking about how they've allowed, so far it looks like the league understands that the priority here is not necessarily profit per se, it's growing the exposure, because this is kind of why for me the women's game is my pet peeve. It started back with me when I was a diehard hockey fan, and the inequality between women's hockey and men's hockey, and a massive part of it comes down to just sheer exposure and being put out there to watch, because the more that a girl growing up can see this as a viable career like a guy can, the more people will want to play, and you'll get better athletes staying in the game and playing. I think, sure, there's biological differences, but generally speaking, there's no, you can't tell me that like the men can play a better game than a woman can. It just has to do with the ability and the exposure, and give it 50 years. And I'm sure the gap between the quality levels will be much less.
Yeah, I agree. Stevie, obviously you've been in the background. My mate here, Josh, he missed the Durham game because he was out salmon fishing. I mean, what else could you do? You know,
I got 30 pounds of salmon. If anyone needs,
you see, when we have a boys' day out, it's usually for a beer. You know, these guys go salmon.
Oh, there were
fishing.
plenty of beers too.
Oh, I'm sure they was, but there's usually a lot of fun with it. So, Stevie, did you get a chance to watch the Durham game at all?
Yes, I did. It was a hard game. At times, I think we could have got more out of it. But
we went wrong then, Steve.
Pardon?
Where did you think we went wrong in the Durham game?
I don't think we went really wrong. I think it's just Durham were are a better team, and their defense was solid, and they were literally on us all the time. You know, I mean,
I thought their goalkeeper was outstanding, mate. To be fair,
they weren't giving us any space. You know, a little bit dirty at times, but you know, to go against Durham, who's one of the best teams in the league, and only lose 1-0, and then you look at the Charlton and Sunderland game. Sunderland hadn't won a game. You're playing the top team, and they managed to get a 3-3 draw. So it's every game is going to be different. You know, it's what you pour into it. And as I do say sometimes the lower team can get something out of a top team. You know,
I mean, I think the one thing that disappointed me was the fact that we didn't take. I mean, as much as I thought their defense was good, as you saw, we got behind them far too many times for me. Their keeper, I thought, Matt pulled off some great saves.
Yeah.
But I think when you're dominating, like we did dominate in large spells of that game, when you don't take your chances, that only need one chance. And that's what happened, wasn't it? In the dying seconds, there was a poor play in the middle of the park where we lost the ball. They turned the ball over. It was overload on the right-hand side. And the ball just fell nicely from the save. Moan saved the shot. The ball then deflects to the far post, and it was literally not an open goal because it was still a tight angle, and it was just very difficult for the defender to get it away. But I think there was a lot of positives out of the game, Steve.
Oh, definitely. It's giving a lot of players the experience of playing against better players. And I know we've actually got some good players in that squad that we've brought in. You know, like you're looking at the squad, like the keeper today. Now, I think that's our first game this season. I did have a list of the players and how many matches they played, but for some reason I've lost it. I did have it on my system last night. I did a page swipe shot of it, but I can't find it. But it's you're looking at the squad and what we've actually had. I think we've done well.
Yeah, we've certainly got a little bit of depth now. I mean, obviously, I saw Hawkins in goal at the start of the season in the friendlies. and things like that. And it was obviously to have a nice look at.
I don't know if you guys have the stream open, but they're walking out.
Yeah, they are. They're walking onto the park as we speak.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's there's going to be a cracking atmosphere at this game. I must admit, it's one of them that it's going to be. I would hope it's going to be physical but friendly. You know what I mean? I do think there's a lot to.
It did get a little rough.
I
think it was about 12 months ago. We played a preseason friendly against them, and but by the end, I think Newcastle actually had someone red carded off for a late tackle.
I think looking at our squad, since January this year, since January, we've brought in 10 players, and we picked up one from Reading because Reading basically went bust. Picked up 2 good players, Bristol City, Hales and Furness. We picked up from the Championship, Crystal Palace, 2 players, Bailey Gale. But Bailey Gale, though, as far as I can see,
she
went on a free. I don't know what the team is. It just says Sand. So I don't know where that is.
Oh, right, okay.
But
I forget where she went, I mean, she left. I mean, honestly, we did the same thing last preseason. We signed a whole bunch of new people because we brought in what was the other striker's name? Bridget Galloway, I think. She was our striker during the first half of the season, and she was putting them away. We didn't keep her. Some people were surprised by that. I mean, we've had to do that for sure, and I think credit where credit's due with Becky and her squad. They've identified and been honest. They brought these people in, but then rotated, and when she knew at the next level they maybe weren't going to cut it. I mean, I don't know if it's been injury related or what, but like my favorite player since I've been following him has always been Georgia Gibson, and she's had very sparing time since this season. I don't think she's started a game yet that I've watched. She's come on in a few sub appearances, but yeah.
I think that's the situation that we brought in. Not being funny, but better players. So she is going to be a sub for this season by the look of it. Because you think of it, right, our best buys, we brought Stokes in from Man City, and that was a fantastic coup to bring her in because she's just the experience she's got in Champions League and WSL. We brought in Joel from London City. Well, that was a good player to bring in, and also Hales was a fantastic brought in at the end of last season. So, because we got all those extra, more experienced players in, some of the players that we had last season that were in the lineup quite regular, not going to get in as much this season because of what we brought in. So
they're getting ready. The coin toss has occurred, and they're lining up. But yeah, it should be a good game. There's a balance of experience and some people that have been playing, so it'll be.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about the size of football grounds, and has Beer got a I don't know. Has he hit on something here where the pitch should be 10% decreased? And it would produce a better.
That's hard for me to say because, as I've told you before, Gary, I mean, I'm sure as many of you may have noticed in the past, I've never played a game of football in my life. I'm purely a fan. So when it comes to actually playing and sometimes understanding it, I look at it very different as someone who hasn't played it. To me, I don't feel like I've ever noticed a struggle of that. And, I hear what Beer is saying on a lot of these things. But again, I think there's a lot, and then also Infamous Shore Billy put in some good insights. I think there's some fairness to what they're saying. But at the same time, I also think there's a level of when you look at the men's game and sometimes the heights of the players and whatever, they don't necessarily represent the average height of a male. They are the best of the best because they are a little bit taller than your average male. They're a little bit more stronger than your average male. And why does that happen? Because over time, it's been promoted to the point that people can see that as a viable option. Last season when the women went professional, almost our whole squad were working full-time jobs and then playing. So, there were a few players that had to step down. I think one of them, and I'm blanking on who it was. I should know this, but one of them was famously, she was a Northumbria police officer for a full-time job, and then she did this on the side. So she could not leave the force to keep playing professional when they went full-time last season. So that's where I think give it time, and these things will work itself out, because again, more women will be able to keep pursuing this as a passion and as a career, not just something they do for fun.
Yeah, exactly. So we're underway. We're underway, and it's got out for a Sunderland.
You're
throw.
Underway.
So yeah, we are underway.
All right, mine's done. My thing's not all the way along.
I'm on like 30 seconds. I don't know about you, Gary.
Yeah, I'm on 37 seconds, 38.
Yep, that's about where I am. Give or take a second.
Yeah.
So just remember, guys, if you're watching along, please no spoilers. Kind of wait for us to do our thing to trigger the celebration and all that. And hopefully we'll be doing plenty of that today.
A little bit of one-on-one here. Well done.
Yep. Demi Stokes, good positioning. Oh, way to muscle her off.
A minute now.
Yeah, she's good, isn't she?
Yeah, Demi Stokes has been one of the highlights of the newer signings, I think. So it looks like Lumsden is playing down the left, like we talked about.
Well, we thought so. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a good.
So we got Keegan Stobbs playing midfield, which makes. Ooh.
Well done. Yeah, there was a little bit of an overload on the right-hand side where it allowed Sunderland to get in behind. And Mound, bless her, she come out, close the angle down. It was a very tight angle, actually. But there was lots of red and white shirts in the box if she was able to get it in. But bless her, Mound did what she does well. She's a good size, isn't she? She fills that frame of the goal really well. And I think that helps us, if I'm honest.
I would say we do have a little bit of a kind of like the men's. I would say more often than not, the attack seems to come down the left than the right. Just because Demi Stokes.
Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, just because Demi Stokes tends to carry the ball out and build that play very well, kind of like Trips would do on the right.
Yeah, it looks like their tactic from set pieces is to overload Moan. And there was a lot of bodies underneath the.
McQuaid.
Sloppy pass.
Yeah, mishit it. Didn't get all of it.
That was sloppy.
I think you
rather than trying to push.
The one thing that if I was gonna criticize from what I've seen sometimes is it seems as if they're too eager to do something positive. And I mentioned in the chat, you were in the chat when we first started in the championship. It seemed as if they were trying too hard at times to do the right thing rather than relaxing with the ball. And again, what I've seen so far, they're trying to play themselves out of trouble, and they've put themselves under a lot of pressure. Well, that's a go.
Yeah.
There we go. Oof. No.
Because again, this is where for me they need to settle, and it's clear your lines, get yourselves settled, and then work yourself into the game. And I do think, like for all what Becky's trying to do, I think sometimes when you're just trying to get the experience, you don't need to be giving away possession in the final third.
Well, no, because the thing is, even though you look at the quality of the difference between the two teams of how they've played this season so far. Yes, Sunderland, the only game that they've put that you can see that because we don't watch all the games is the Charlton game, because it's the only game they got a point out of. But that might give them the confidence in this game to go against Newcastle. So they could be dangerous no matter what. So I think Newcastle need to play a more defensive game, just and hit them on the break.
Yeah.
Because they score 3 against Charlton,
There's the Seagulls.
Right.
They're certainly up for it. The Sunderland girls, I'll tell you now.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to make this easy.
Oh, no, they're not.
There's Alicia Body. I mean, overall, the thing I would just say, as much as I hear you guys, they have consistently played very progressive football since I've been watching them. Becky does not care. You even saw that against Everton. It wasn't until the second half against Everton women where they started bringing on more of their regulars, where we ever started to look outclassed consistently. They are about progressive football and all that. You know, they're not going to sit there and play boring and do a lot of back passes. And generally speaking, you know, up until this point, they've not really been punished for doing so. So, you know, definitely, I think you have to read the game a little bit, and it has been a little sloppy this beginning. So you want to ride that wave. You don't want to give or weather the storm, I should say. You don't want to give them something to hold on to early. But you also want to be true to yourself, just like we talk about with the men. You don't want to sit there and let the opponent dictate how you're going to play.
Yeah. And the reasons why I say that is because obviously the game that I watched, definitely against Durham, it was a silly mistake in the final third that robbed us of the ball. Rather than just progressing the ball early, to try and get in behind them. There were, again, I do take my hat off, because I think sometimes in your first season in the Championship, which it is, the girls have still got to learn the job, haven't they? They've still got to get, within the speed of the game. There's a bit more technical going on now. The technique's got to change. The mindset's got to change. And there's still quite a few girls in this team that obviously have been there, from the early days. It's not a complete different squad.
Come on. Stokes on the left.
Well done, Stokesy.
Out for a corner.
Did well to get the corner, yeah. I think I am just a little bit behind you. So what number are you on now, guys?
6.
I'm just turning over to 7 minutes right now.
Yeah, so you're just about 4 or 5 seconds behind me. So I'm going to pause it at 15. Tell me when it's 15, guys. Where are you?
15.
Now.
Thank you. We should be synced now, you see.
Yeah. Right. So the development side.
Oh, unlucky. Great corner.
The development side seems to be doing well this season as well at the moment. They've only played 3 games at the moment, but they've won 8-2, 6-2, and they drew 1 against Liverpool Feds. It was always going to be a hard game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's 7 points in 3 games. They would have played 4, but 1 got postponed against Hull.
Yeah.
And they've got a cup game on the. Oh no, they would have had a cup game, but there was nothing actually played. Let's have a look at the fixtures. The next game
with Debbie Lambourne seems to have issues. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, they got Chorley reserves now. Next.
Oh, right, okay.
Today, actually.
Right.
Same time as this. But you never know results of them until later, because they don't update the system until later.
Don't update the system. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I know Chris was mentioning earlier, like I say, we'd heard Becky in previous interviews having a real close relationship with Mitchell about players coming in and the type of players that she's looking for and things like that. And, sometimes, like I say, I do look at, even though I know Mitchell's been criticised heavily for a men's team and not bringing anything in, but he certainly updated the women's and the academy to the point now where we are at least competing and making every game close. I still think there's a long way to go in the academy, to be fair, but it certainly looks better now than it's ever done.
Yeah, well, the reserve league at the moment, we're only 4th because we've not played that one game that got cancelled, and we're playing today.
Yeah.
Because Leeds have played 5, Middlesbrough's played 4, and York have played 5.
Right.
Liverpool Feds have played 3 the same as us, but they're 3 points behind the Liverpool Feds. So, we win our games in hand, we'll be up there with Leeds, because Leeds have actually lost a game.
Right, got you.
Oh,
That's it's good that you keep an eye on that one, because I never even give that a thought, to be fair.
Well, I was following it all last season and the season before, because last season they won. The season before, I think it was goal difference that they lost it on. It was equal on goal thing with Durham, Sestra. They were equal on points, but it was goal difference that beat them. But last season, they actually ran away with it.
Got you. So we're taking 10 minutes on the clock. We've got a little bit of an injury at the moment, so we're just waiting.
Shane Hale's fixing the boot.
Go on. I think
as we're watching it, it looks like the positioning is kind of what we thought. So it looks like they actually put Shayna Hales. She's actually playing striker. Depending on who else is on, sometimes we have seen Hales as more of a attacking midfield. You can drop back to what I think you guys say is a 10, but she's playing as the number 9. The midfield, it looks like it is who we thought it would be, of McQuaid, Keegan Stobbs. I think it's also been blanking. A body is also in there. So, but again, like you said in the beginning, Gary, it is very total football. Sometimes people all of a sudden are like, what is Charlotte Potts doing up in the box, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. She does like the girls to play fluid football, and I think, like I say, that could be to a detriment, because obviously we left open a little bit at the back.
Hales.
Cracking ball.
Come on, Keegan.
Great.
Look,
just blocked on the 18
body recovered out to the wing. I think that's Sibley.
Oh. They play some good balls in. Just sometimes, as the players are just not there for them. Yeah,
well, like I say, because they progress the ball so quickly, Steve. I think sometimes they forget that the ball goes quicker than feet does. And it's getting one. You've got to gamble to commit bodies into the box, and again, as we've seen, we've been punished for it, not only in the women's, but we've also been punished in the men's team when you overcommit. And I've seen, like I say, Eddie Howe change that system this season, where he's not overcommitting, and then you get the negative effect, because obviously you've not got targets in the box to aim for when the balls come in. And again, I think sometimes the women's football, that they progress the ball so quickly up the park, the girls just haven't got chance then to get to them, to get up to play. So I think it's like I say, at this present moment in time, it's certainly something that they're learning together, and I'm sure that will change.
Hold up by Hales.
Right, Hales.
Throw, poor cross, but recovered by body, holding them off. Good, Newcastle ball, throw in.
Nice footwork, isn't she?
Yeah, she's one of our more technical players as well.
That's got to be a corner, ref. Referee. Felt like there was a little deflection out there when it tried to cross. It's a real weird one, isn't it? Because you look at this and you think it's only going to be a matter of time before we score, because again, like the Durham game, it seems to be very much pressure in the corners. We get some deliveries into the box. We haven't quite tested the keeper yet. I understand.
Oh, wow. Okay, that was fortunate. Demi Stokes with the throw-in.
Yeah, what I do find, though, as soon as we do score, that really puts the confidence in, and they go ahead and then score a lot more. But it's just getting that first goal.
Yeah.
Because it'll put the other team on the back foot then to try and score. So you got more chances.
So this is one of the things that does make me a little worried at times. Furnace has done okay, but her pace at times is very, very
pulled her too easy.
It's not there, so she can be. out footworked, or if the attacker's smart and uses positioning and angles, she's been rather easy to get by at times.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
A little bit of pressure from Sunderland.
Sunderland corner.
So Sunderland got a corner. They're going to try an outswinger this time on the other side.
Nope, I just had my feed jump.
Yeah, and me. Yeah. I didn't see where it went to.
1 second the ball was kicked, and then all of a sudden it was being defensively kind of taken out. Oh, what a tackle by Stobbs.
Yeah, signal system, isn't it? Because it's I bet it's not the best. You know, it's not as good as you're getting with Sky and that.
No, that wasn't a foul.
No.
That wasn't a foul. Piss off.
I watched the
Nigel wins watching the underwater basket weaving championship in New Guinea. I hope you're having a great time watching that, my friend.
Portugal Poland game last night. That was a cracker.
Oh, yeah, what was the score?
I think it was 2-0 in the end. I think.
Was it?
What the heck's going on? The
foul
was way over there.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be anywhere near where the ball is, does it?
Not even within whatever.
Or maybe there was something else.
Maybe there was something off the ball. I don't know.
I'm going to say.
Because I didn't think it was a foul on Lumsden in the first place.
No. A little bit of pressure on
Nice
Sunderland.
by Stobbs. Oh, come on.
Referee.
That's a yellow card.
That's a yellow.
That's a yellow.
Actually, 3-1 in the end. Sorry, 3-1.
I don't care if it's in the final third. That was horrible.
That must be when I lost my feed. Go on.
So again, we start again with Newcastle just bringing the ball across their back foot. Typical Newcastle style.
Potsy and Furness playing the center backs. And then we've got Olivia Watt. Yeah, Furness to me has been our weak spot of the new signings. I mean, like we were talking about before you were able to hop on, Stephen. I know I was reading an article, you know, she's played midfield historically, not center back. So I think some of those might be poor decision making, not understanding that there's no one behind her.
That should be a yellow card. That was nasty.
I couldn't tell if that just looked worse than it was from the angle, but yeah, that looked really bad.
Yeah, because the way the arm came round her, you know, dragged her down.
She took a standing foot, didn't she?
Yeah.
She got inside her, and she was clear there. Then obviously she took a standing foot away, and it's a free kick right on the edge,
right outside of the box.
Penalty area. Yeah, and the goal line. So,
so it looks like Lumsden's on the kick.
That's not 10 yards. Come on.
I think they're still having a chat at the minute. In certain facts, Seven's a little bit tight.
So she's still standing there, you know. That's it. Refs
stopping us taking their free kick early. To be fair,
yeah, quick free kick.
We've got to put them under a bit of pressure.
McQuaid waiting outside the box for maybe a second effort, and otherwise it looks like the box is loaded.
The Wearside Warrior there says Newcastle's paid the referees already. Wow.
That's it. Lovely. That's a lovely ball.
Couldn't
get it. Just couldn't get her head underneath. Underneath
bit of a bang in the face there.
Underneath it.
No.
Yeah,
underneath too much.
You know, I'm sure
Rachel
she's
Furness
Go ahead.
She's still, like you said. I mean, she seems to be one of these plodders, isn't she? She's obviously a solid player.
Yeah,
but maybe limited on, you know, what
Yeah,
she can do.
you can see she's winding down her career. With all due respect to her, you know, she looks like she's lost a step. She's just the little things. You know, in all fairness, when I watched the Durham highlights, she did look much better in that game, and she was also much better in the Everton game as well. But I know in the first game when I saw her versus Portsmouth, I was not all that thrilled with her performance. You know, again, just purely speaking on the pitch. You know, I'm sure she brings a lot of leadership to the squad and experience, you know, because she's played in the WSL. I think she's played in the Women's Champions League. Good ball, good build up. Shayna Hales. Out to Sibley.
Nice footwork.
Come on, Sibley.
See, why is she trying to walk it in? You know what I mean? She should have been passing then, not trying to walk it in.
She's committed 2 players to her. That's when you cross the ball.
That's
you know, once you commit the players, you know there should be somebody else spare.
Yeah.
So free kick to Sunderland. It's got a bit. What's the word I'm looking for? Bitty. They're closing each other's space down. They're not. The final ball hasn't been brilliant, to be fair. They just need to settle. And I think
and a lot of little sloppy
things at kick a ball better out. At least they keep and kick a ball better out.
Good no call.
Yeah. Go on then. Go on.
Great run by Lumsden. Great body.
Lovely ball.
Great ball.
Cross.
Good ball into the box as well.
Out for a corner, though. Out for a corner.
Well defended, to be fair. Well defended.
Yeah, I mean, the one drawback on Hales is Hales definitely does not have a lot of height in contrast to Amy Andrews. Amy Andrews would give you a little bit more of height in the box for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And like I say, it's surprising because, like I say, we've done some beautiful work there, and that was a good ball into the box, to be fair. And like I say, well defended, and that's what I said. You're not going to win everything, but it's all about percentages, isn't it? The more you do that, the more you get a chance of committing bodies into the box, the more chances you're going to create. Good corner.
Looks like a
floater.
Deep cross.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that one may have been potentially mishit. I don't know if that was actually there. Potsy with the big ball. Oh, that beautiful vision.
Right.
Unfortunately, McQuaid couldn't take the pass.
Right.
Good pickup by Furness. A little bit of a sloppy pass, but it was saved. Out to Sibley. No, actually, that's not Sibley. I think that's Olivia Watt. And
there's a shot on a wrong foot, unfortunately. Just goes out for a goal kick.
Nope, that was Lumsden. She was still over there from the corner.
Just tries to. But again, she's not frightened to use her left foot, is she?
No.
You know?
No, to be honest, a lot of the lasses are not afraid to take a whack at it, and a few of them have scored some lovely long range efforts.
Georgie Stewart's in the chat there. She's Charlotte Potts is his mate's sister. There you go.
Yeah. Potsy is
Georgia.
A legend. She's been great for them, and I was a little nervous for her after that London City game. She looked a little shaky and maybe like the step up, but I think ever since that opening game, you know, maybe she worked through those jitters, and she's looked a lot more like good old reliable. She reminds me a lot of kind of Fabi in how Fabi would play the game for the men's. You know, she'll drill a long diagonal ball and things like that.
Yeah. And that's what I said. I think that, you know, for a lot of the girls that haven't played at this level before, it is a different level, you know, and it's going to take a while for them to settle to the speed of the game and the quality of the game. So the whole of their development has to change.
But like I said, bringing people like Andrews and Furness and Stokes in, will give them that experience, doesn't it? Gives them, will develop their game. And I think in the future, bringing people like Stokes in, hopefully they're the type of players that will stay on and work with the back room.
Yeah.
You're right. But you see, for me, the biggest problem I see is the fact that it just seems as if they're still learning each other's job.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we haven't seen that fluid football. Even though I think it's been some really lovely stuff, I still think it's quite mismatched at times, because obviously it's the first season that a lot of these girls have played together.
Yeah, that was a foul. I think
that was a bit of a bit too much on that one. It wasn't exactly a shoulder charge.
Well, I don't think there's anything too malicious in that, but
no.
But yeah, that was a foul.
Yeah, watch the.
I mean, I would say, Gary, for me watching it though, in all fairness, I don't actually feel like I've seen. The only big difference I've seen is when the moments come where the other team can have a moment of brightness, they look more threatening. I don't feel like when I'm watching the women that they look any less threatening than they have in years past.
This is.
Oh, yeah. Must have hit a seagull or something on the way in. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
I think she just didn't get the power on it. She just didn't get any. Just too
not enough welly.
She'd have come round on her other foot, then that might have been more threatening.
Yeah, but like I was saying, I actually think when in possession and when we have a good breakout, it does still remind me a lot of what had happened. There were times where it would be moving really quick, and then that one bad pass, kind of like you're saying, Gary, but then we would get a lucky bounce and it would stay with us anyways. A lot of that does feel kind of familiar to me. It's just more when the other team has a bright moment, I feel a little bit more nervous now, where last season and stuff, whenever another team kind of had a moment where we weren't pressing them, it was more or less like when we played Wimbledon. It was just we weren't threatening them, but they were never threatening us, kind of. You know, so.
I was actually quite disappointed with the Wimbledon men's game. I thought, to win 1-0, I think was a bit disappointing. We should have had more out of that game.
Yeah, we should have.
We could have if like I said, you'd have played the football into the danger areas. And the problem is, we played with a number 9, and I know everybody's going to say he's not that good.
Right, come on, inside now.
That's it. That's in.
What?
Yes!
I said it. Come inside.
Yeah.
What a finish!
Super finish on Lumsden. Really good.
Yeah.
Just for
I saw her coming on the outside, and I thought, right, no, come inside. Bang, come inside. She played the Sunderland player perfectly. She made her think she was coming, going that way, and then bang, you bluffed.
What a rocket! What a
she bluffed her then, big time. She played it.
Yeah, but that's what I said. She commits herself into the box, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And when the defender doesn't allow her down, she doesn't close the inside channel. So that's what I'm saying. It's all about experience when you come to this level. It's about where do you stand when you get that close. Where do you stand? And obviously, the lesser chance of anything coming from it was to see her down the line.
Yeah.
But obviously, she stood.
Not to sound like cliche or anything, but the next 5 minutes will be very interesting because I agree with what Steven says. We have a tendency that when we score, all of a sudden it's the rocks going downhill. So I'm curious if Sunderland can offer anything, because if I don't see Sunderland threaten us immediately, fingers crossed, I could see this getting very in our favor. If Sunderland don't,
done. That was brilliant. Right, I said.
If Sunderland overcommit now, chasing the game, I can see the likes of Hales getting in behind quite comfortably.
Exactly. Our front three, Sibley, Hales, and Lumsden, they all have looked bright so far. Hales may be a little bit quieter, hasn't had a lot of service, but I trust her ability so far to make the difference.
Yeah, like I say, as I was saying before, I just think it takes a while for the girls to get used to each other, And like I say, there's a lot of changes.
That was there's been quite a lot of changes compared to the men's team, isn't it? It's going to take them time to gel together.
Yeah, absolutely. And but for me, they've got to be a little bit more clinical up top if they're going to
Yeah.
do anything. I mean, whether they look to consolidate this season just to get that experience.
Maybe.
No.
Come on, fighter.
She did well there, actually.
Sit, put the keeper under pressure. Come
on. She doesn't want it there, does
well
she?
done, girl.
Nice press. Keep them hemmed in.
Yeah, that's what I find with the men's team as well, and not enough. I think it's gone as the days where the ball goes back to the keeper, played by the other team, and I don't think our boys put the keepers under pressure enough. They just let it go.
I think it depends on the moment. There are moments where I've seen them really press. I mean, Gordon almost had that one. I can't remember who we were playing a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Gordon was just a couple inches from getting his toe on and punishing them. But I do get what you're saying. I think as a whole, the men have adapted how they're pressing this season. But
yeah, and I don't like the way they play out from the back. I think it puts us under pressure too much.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that. I do agree with that. Sometimes we can overplay when we don't need to.
Back with Stobbs.
You know, you got a goal kick. A goal kick is a goal kick. You kick it forward, and you're playing out from the back, and it's like, it's supposed to be a goal kick.
Stobbs playing absolutely fantastic as our captain. So reliable, so calm on the ball.
I think, like I say, I've seen some amazing things. Considering where we were
rush
4 years ago.
That's the problem. Rush passing.
We've just got to be a little bit more careful when we're trying to play out all of the time.
I just think even sometimes, again, those are the little things. The quality of our opposition. I think so many times you could almost not even have to look up and know that their fullback was not going to press the winger on that. And Watt could do those in previous seasons. So fortunately it has not come to bite us in the butt. But definitely something that she needs to continue to work on. But I'm pretty sure Olivia Watt is, again, one of our younger existing players. So still definitely some time to work out those kinks. Good tackle by McQuaid. And again, Stobbs. Good intervention.
I watched the men's England, under 21s on Friday night. That was
Lewis Hall was amazing, wasn't he?
He was. It was absolutely. He was brilliant, and I think it was a good game. We won it late, but it was better than the Greece game. The men, the first team, that was absolutely humiliating.
Yeah. I hope you're well.
Nicodemus wasn't any good.
Sure, Billy for 75. I'm just looking at Sure Billy 75 here. He's put, I'm back. Sorry, lads. I tried to set my backyard on fire. All sorted now.
Must be brilliant.
The match isn't that bad. Come on.
What a save.
Brilliant
Poor pinch by Potsy, but fortunately not punished. See, those are the little things. Sometimes I feel like when they just try to hoof it, they need to get a couple more feet on it.
There just needs to be a bit more composure. It just needs composure. They have got to try and learn about composure. Because, like I say, everything just seems to be too rushed for me at times.
They seem to be passing too quick and not passing, and that's why.
I think some of that might be old habits coming to bite them, because that used to be their thing. No matter where they were, they're in 2-3 passes, they were now in your half attacking you, even though you might have been being pressed. And there definitely might be some moments where they need to learn that's not always going to be possible.
Yeah, sometimes it's like watching Sunday League football where the inexperience and the training's not getting or whatever. You know what I mean? It just rushing things.
Sure, Billy. I think on Lewis Miley, correct me if I'm wrong, lads, did Eddie not say that he should be back in these cluster of games, hopefully?
Whether he's picked for the squad, I mean, obviously he's still got to play a few games. Yeah,
but he should be available for selection.
He should be available. Yeah. And this is what like I say. I think you may see them in the under-21s first, just to get a game under the
Oh,
belts.
absolutely. Yeah. No harm in doing that with Lewis.
Well, the
No.
youngest brother's supposed to be making really good headway in the academy, the 15-year-old. He's supposed to be the next one. He could end up with 3 Mileys in the squad.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they develop, because obviously Jamie Miley's doing okay.
Yeah. Let's hope he gets better.
Absolutely. And like I say, Lewis is the again in pre-season. I didn't think that Jamie Lewis did anything wrong, to be fair. I just think, like I say,
I thought Jamie was the surprise of the preseason, just because I really had no expectation of him.
No, exactly.
And the fact that he then put in a good effort. Oh, what a steal.
It was lovely. That was beautiful. She held it up because no one was up front.
There was some awareness to slow it down. That was good.
I think that's because I don't think anyone was up front for her to pass to.
Yeah.
Well, I think sometimes you just need to recycle and keep the ball, don't you? And that's what I said. That's about experience. Yeah, exactly. When you've come deep as the top man, if a person, I should say, not man. If you're the top person, the number 9, and you know there's nobody running behind you, sometimes recycle it. Play the way you're facing.
Oh, what a hold off by Sibley.
Oh, just unlucky.
Yeah. Bounced just a little bit more than she thought. But no, yeah, but like I was saying on the Mileys, he was, to me, because as much as Sanusi was great, we had been hearing rumblings about Sanusi coming into it. So there was a little bit of, didn't surprise me. So
I haven't really, like last time I looked at, I'm going to look at when I'm in work tonight, I'm going to go through all the players that are actually on international duty. Because on my Rock Platoon, I did a video the last international break with all the players that got pulled in for international duty from men's to
might have been a wee bit of a shock.
So I'm going to see who else has been pulled up this time and see who's played.
Yeah, I think there was a good number of lads. I think it was Shahar, Sanusi, Hall, Livermeno.
Well, we had 16 players called up. Some of the younger ones, one of the players, I think he plays for I think one of them's Denmark or something, but he never got into the squad in the end.
Recovery by Watt.
I think it was 14 players altogether that actually did play between senior and 18s.
It's a good ball.
Good ball, but terrible header in the box by the Mackems. Really allowed us to pull away the pressure. No. Poor header by their number 9.
Yeah.
I wish I was Shearer. I wish I was Shearer.
I know I do. I'd have your autograph.
Met him once.
I met him once, but I mean there was a crowd of us, so you couldn't really ask him to do much.
Funny. I'm just curious. You guys said you've met him. I've heard some people say that when they've met him, they've been a little disappointed.
Yeah, I mean,
it's how you approach him. Some people can be a bit too pally.
For sure.
I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to treat him, like he's not arrogant. He's not lost him, but the point is some people go in a bit too pally with him rather than like a stranger.
Would you mind kind of thing, as opposed to assuming that he should,
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I get what you mean.
I say Kevin Keegan has always been my all-time idol. And I said I finally met him 9 years ago. And we in this country have got a magazine called a Match Magazine, football magazine. Mm-hmm. And I had the first edition I picked up from a car boot sale for 50p. First edition with Keegan on the front. And it's the only copy in history to be signed. Because he's never signed any other copy. You remember seeing it because his picture's on the actual annual for that year as well, 1979.
Wow.
Yeah. The midfield battle last couple minutes has kind of been going Sunderland's way. Some sloppy giveaways. But here we go. Good build out through body and McQuaid. Oh!
That's it. Good. Well done.
Sibley coming down.
See,
nice hold up by
go on there
Hales.
too. That's it. Lovely turn.
What a hold up.
That's
No support
experience
there, though, is
isn't
there?
it?
There's
That's
three-
Yeah,
experience.
There's 3 on
she's
1
not the
there. Look.
biggest class, but she definitely uses her weight and positioning wisely so far this game.
Yeah. That's percentage balls, you see. That's what drives me insane. Those percentage balls, trying to get it too quick.
Out.
Thing
on
is, Hales is,
Sunderland.
she's used to playing that tough football,
Yeah.
playing for Jamaica. That's
Is Hales also for Jamaica, or was that Bailey Gale you're thinking of?
no, she's from Jamaica. Hales is Jamaican. Sure she is.
Okay. I know Bailey Gale was from Jamaica as well.
Yeah, I'm sure Hales is as well.
Okay.
So
I think-
it went a bit scrappy in the middle of the park, didn't it? It was
Yeah.
a lot of what I say.
Well, she might not
what
be
gets me.
100%
I
Jamaican.
never
Nice
understand
stand up
that.
by Watt. Nice stand up by Watt and drew the foul.
Yeah. You see that's what gets, and it always seems to be both for the girls and the boys, if you like. It's one ball forward, even though they've got one striker. It always seems to hit the striker, and when we do it, it's like one striker and 4 defenders. You know what I mean? And it's like the chances seem to be so limited for us when we get the ball up so quickly.
Oh, come on, Furness.
I think
Really
we're going to have to start playing, with 2 strikers up front against some teams.
I think we got to see Furness come off at halftime. She's had a poor first half, and Becky has done it in other games, made that sub at halftime.
That's what I find with her. She does sub quite quick, doesn't she? She doesn't hold back, whereas like Eddie Howe will half a time, unless he actually gets an injury or whatever, he don't bring anyone on till after 60 minutes. At one point,
the only thing I would say in that is Becky has, relatively speaking, I think, better depth. A lot of the people that she brings on can be like for like.
Yeah.
Where for Eddie, there's still a handful that it might be that person's 5%, 10% less in theory. So Eddie's sometimes maybe just hoping for, if I give him maybe 10 more minutes, I might get something from them before giving up on them. But I will admit, again, because of how I play, I never really played and things like that. I don't get too bent out of shape that he doesn't make more halftime subs. I mean, I think I told the story on my show in the Wolves game. Normally when I go, unless it's a special occasion, I don't drink too much, so I drink about 1.5 pints. So I ordered my second half pint, and I said to the guys next to me, I said, if Eddie makes a halftime sub, I'll chug my pint. And when he made 3, they said I had to chug 3 for each sub.
Oh, that was a messy night, was it?
Quite a blur. Oh, what a ball!
Got a bit of space to run into now.
Plenty of space.
Go on, Sibley.
Go on.
Nice. Oh, just didn't get that final connection, but a good read on the trailing ball in the box.
Thing is, she was under pressure from the defender. She just couldn't get a good shot on it, could she? Just couldn't get. I mean, if you can't bring your leg back, you can't. You're not going to get a good shot. Good try. Good try.
Yeah, just too much swing on the ball and it through to the keeper. That was unlucky. It was a good try. I mean, it was a nice break by Sibley up the wing, put into the box. But again, the ball was just a little bit behind her for Hales to actually do anything with it.
Those kind of runs and stuff, I think that's why Sibley's probably been in contention for my new favorite of who's joined the squad. I just like her run. She's kind of like Miggy in that she gets it and she'll just go. She runs at you, and she's got a decent amount of pace on her, and I've been happy with what I've seen from Sibley so far this season. I'll tell you what, as much as we talked about McQuaid. McQuaid has been a little quiet today.
Quiet. She has.
Yeah,
She's been very quiet.
But she's one of my favourite players this season.
Yes.
You know, between her and Stokes, and
well done.
And as you said,
giveaway. Maybe that would have been a little soft, but she definitely didn't play the ball.
See whether seem as fluid. I see.
I just haven't seen her on the ball as much, you know. And again, maybe that's been her assignment. Maybe she's had a slightly different assignment today. But I just feel like I haven't really seen McQuaid on the ball too much today.
As I was saying, I think sometimes, you know, I think she needs to play it up and put 2 strikers out rather than one.
Got 3 minutes out of time. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I think sometimes having 1 striker does cost us. I think that sometimes she needs to change it up to 2 strikers at some point to try and put teams off, because we're playing with 1, and you know teams are going to start to know what to do against us.
Yeah.
The thing I would say though, you know, that we got some variety, just like the men's. The way Amy Andrews seems to play the number 9 position versus Shayna is a lot different. You know, Amy Andrews is a little bit taller and things like that. So she can definitely change that style maybe in the second half at some point, I'm sure.
But the problem is, like I say, with our first team, I just don't think we got enough strikers. And then the rumours that Wilson's going in January is not playing very well for us.
It's going to be an interesting January, I must admit, if I'm honest. But like I say, I think it's like everything else. You know, we've got a door ajar, I suppose, when it comes to these sponsors and everything else. But there's a hell of a lot going on at the club at the moment. So
this sponsors thing, you know, is it going to be sorted? Are they going to clarify exactly what we can do and have the money ready for January?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's why I think you haven't seen anything come in yet, because there's a lot. There's a lot of availability. I think we've got a lot of links regarding sponsorship. You know, we've all been talking about Aramco and things like that. But I also think until this meeting happens next week with all the shareholders from all of the teams to see where they want to be regarding the APTs, I think you've got to.
My body back to what
you've just got to try and take it, you know, a little bit at a time. And like I say, this is going to be a totally different look at Newcastle coming up over these next few seasons, isn't it?
It's the choice on the stadium. Are they going to rebuild a totally new stadium? Are they going to try and build part of it outside the stadium and then close the stadium at the end of the season and start building onto it? You know, there's loads of different rumours of what they could do, because the land is there, the other side of the stadium, to start building a new
That's
stadium.
halftime.
You know,
1-0 tune.
I've seen mock-ups of the stadium where you can build half of it and then build the other half. Yeah.
I mean, like I say, there is a lot to talk about. You know, for the boardroom to talk about, and that's what I said. And that will have an effect on everything, won't it? Because it affects if we have to move because they're building on the footprint of the ground that we've already got. Yeah. So they're going to flatten it. It'll have an impact on the lads. Whatever happens going forward now will have an impact on the team at some level. So, like I say, that's why there should be no rash discussions type of thing. It should be talked about in the correct manner, and then from there, once they come up with a plan, it should be, you know, I suppose, put together in a way that creates as much or as little.
The other thing I was looking at was like they're on about the training complex, or on about updating, as in doing something like Man City's got. The land might be available around the stadium now. The training thing they got now, there's land available. Maybe I'm not sure. I heard rumours or something. Are they going to develop it to build a smaller stadium for the under 21s and the ladies? Are the ladies going to stay at Kingston Park, or it's all different things that have come up over the last couple of years, but nothing's actually been said in what they're going to do, because all they've done is refurbished and sorted out the training place we've got at the moment.
I just noticed. Sorry, I'm watching the highlights. Lumsden also did my favorite. She did the John Joe.
She did.
That's it. Do you know the Amiobi brothers? Did they both play at the same time for us at any point?
No.
No, they didn't, did they?
No.
I wasn't sure.
No, they were a couple of years behind each other, I think it was.
Right.
If memory serves me right, and my memory is pretty poor, to be fair.
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't remember. I know they both played for us, and I just couldn't remember when. And because I said the only time I think the only brothers we've had in the last few years now have played together. Well, the Miley brothers at one point did play together at one point, didn't they? But it wasn't a full squad game, I don't think. I think it was something. But like the only one, the ones that proper was it Longstaff's, isn't it? The last brothers we had playing the first team game.
Yeah. I mean, there were for a couple of games. It wasn't many.
No.
Where they both played. I mean, I remember the goal against Man U. I think it was his debut goal. I think.
Yeah.
When he struck the ball hard and low.
Yeah, that was a cracker.
But I mean, it was. It's like I said, for me, it's not about the brothers, if you like. And like I say, I think when you've got the Mileys who are all, the obviously different age groups, but when you've got two brothers as we have now with the Mileys, and like I say, I didn't see much wrong with Jamie. I think it's still a level up for him, and he just needs game time. Lewis was a bit different because obviously with Lewis, it was a time where we were so sparse on midfield players because of injuries. It was a case of sink or swim time. And like I say, the lad did really well, and that's the shame because obviously he's done such a good job. Everybody was like, keep going, and the development side of Miley is rushed rather than go through your age group, get some games under your belt, go out on at lower level. That was rushed. So now all of a sudden, you see, as fans, what we all see now is a lad who's still very young that can do a job for us, and it's like a backup part of the squad. And I think that's the issues now. Instead of him coming in and infilling, because we still haven't really got depth in that midfield, he's still going to be seen as part of the numbers. And like I said before, I still think we are 6 players short from having a team that will be, even though I do think we'll knock on the door most seasons. I just think we are still only a couple of injuries away, and we've seen that with our 2 strikers going down at the same time as normal, where we start to drop points. Now, it's not about losing games, and it's not about losing, it's not about losing ground on the top teams. It's about staying in the race. And I think, like I say, there's games, as we saw against Everton, where, for me, it was question marked. And I wouldn't never disagree with Eddie's choice. I just sometimes questions the approach of Eddie and Mad Dog. And I think sometimes you have to say to yourself, how much is it point of experience over position? So when you've got a player that's not as experienced running into a position to a player that's not probably got the skill set or the mindset but knows the job. And if you look at Asula versus Gordon, or any of the players that he brought on. Now, you know, for me, Willock has had one good game this season. I don't think he's been a great servant to the club as of yet. I think he has got the ability. With me, it's all about mindset.
Yeah, and I think it's his injuries have caused him problems, haven't they?
But,
Coming
but
back
like I
from
say, he come out
injury
flying. Yeah. He come out flying regarding the Nottingham Forest game, and it was a shame that he picked up that little muscle strain that kept him out for a couple of weeks, and he seems to have dropped out the pecking order again. Because with me, it's about his application. He comes onto the park, and I always look at body language, and he never looks, you know, hungry for me. And as much as I said about Anderson, he hasn't got the quality as Willock. But what he has got is the tenacity. You know, he does get involved. He does win you that ball back. Willock, to me, is too much of a pretty player at times. He only likes to play when the ball's in front of him and he's running at the opposition. He doesn't want to do the hard yards sometimes and get the ball back.
I remember him coming out of from injury into the Dortmund game, and I just had this feeling they rushed him back because they needed players. Because we were going through things, and he just literally got injured again straight away, you know, and got pulled off. I was in the Platinum Club stand by the Platinum Hospitality. I was by that position, and I've seen him go down, and I was like, oh no, you know, I was thinking too early. They rushed him back too quick, and I think that was the problem last season, wasn't it? Players were coming back too quick and getting injured. But the thing is, with some players last season, you look at Lascelles. If it wasn't for all the injuries, do you think Lascelles would have had as good a season as he did and got that extra year contract?
But like I said, I mean, we've got an aging squad, you know, and that's the issue. So it's a case of if you haven't got the demand, and like I say, you've come through 2 windows now where you haven't got you haven't had players come in to refresh the team in any area. I was just looking at some of what Foxy's saying, that Schouler and Ambi did definitely play together. They let's not forget the combination from the 2 brothers in the draw against Bruges. Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember. I must have a look at that because I can't remember it. But like I say, that could be in that spell for me when I lost the 15 years memory of the tune. So yeah, you're probably asking the wrong person, if I'm honest. So for me, and you know, Beer Viking says Willock's 10 times the player to Jacob Murphy. I can't discredit that, but what I'm discrediting is because you've got 2 players from different areas. You know, you put Willock in any other position than inside left position, and he looks like a spare what's her name at a Vickers party. And that's what annoys me with professional players. Some players seem to be very adaptable, and others don't.
They actually played 19 games.
Yeah. But like I say, that will have been in the area of my memory lapse. So I can't ever remember them playing on the same.
Yeah, they played 511 minutes together in the whole of the time they played at Newcastle.
There you go.
So real quickly before we get into the second half, let's talk a little bit about the losses and any changes we think should make. I know we talked about it. I think we should see Furness come off. Yeah. And again, I got to pull up the subs list again to see who I would say should come on. Because that's the only thing I want to make sure there's someone on the bench available. Might be one of those things. Maybe there isn't someone really on the bench available.
Well, I think Barker's there. You got Andrews, Joel.
I think Sophie Haywood and Lewis Joel have kind of played some stuff in the back.
Yeah.
But the only other one I think that maybe would be within a shout is maybe Olivia Watts. Looked a little shaky at a few moments. But again, looking at the players, to be honest, I don't think we have many. I mean, Katie has played literally every position on the pitch, even famously in a cup game an injury happened and she had to play goalkeeper. Back in the early days, that was even before I followed, but I just hear the legend of that one. But yeah, I think we probably see one swap there at the back. Unfortunately, it looks like with the depth, we may not have both at the back that could be swapped out. Would any of you like to see Amy Andrews come on at halftime, or you think we're good to maybe wait a little bit?
I think we wait. I think we should wait a bit.
I agree.
mean, it does need a little bit of a shape, a shape up, if you like. For me, the ball hasn't stuck up top, you know, and I don't know how you change it. As much as I think Hales has done an okay job, I don't think she's done a great job by, you know, linking midfield up to the forward line enough. So, as Steve said before, when the ball goes up there, sometimes it's easily just pinged back out to, you know, as we are all shifting our movement up top. It just seems as if once we lose it, the ball over the top has sometimes caused us a little bit of trouble. So for me, it's about what do you get up top to hold the ball? Do you play that second player in the 10 role, which is obviously where we've seen McQuaid in the past against Portsmouth, where she did a really good job, where it was just a case of somebody can get the ball into feet, the ball obviously sticks, and it just allows people then to come in and around her, where you can give and go in and behind. Because at this present moment in time, as much as, like I say, we have seen a little bit of trouble from Sunderland. The one change I would make was to try and make something happen in the middle of the park, higher up the park. We just don't seem to be enough going on in that final third for me.
Yeah. I mean, fortunately, when it comes to the middle of the park and in front, we've got lots of options to shake things up as time goes on. I mean, Georgia Gibson usually plays in the midfield. Casey Elson, I think, is also usually in the midfield. I think Joel can also play in the midfield. Like I said, Katie can play anywhere. Katie typically plays more winger or striker of late. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Barker come in for Lumsden or Sibley at some point. It does seem like historically Sibley or whoever's kind of been on that right wing has been the one that gets a little bit substituted earlier. Typically, the left wing has remained on a little bit longer. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, Lumsden and Demi Stokes have seemed to have good chemistry going down the left, and I think that would be worth keeping them going. And obviously, Lumsden has the goal, so we'll have to see how things progress. But to me, I think if we don't make any changes at half, I'm not going to be heartbroken. But the one that I do think I'd like to see is just Furness does not look like she's having the best of days. And she does make me a little nervous at some moments with her pass decision and also just her pace. I could see herself getting done for pace.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a bit closer than I thought it would be, to be fair. 54% to Newcastle's 46% to them. They've had 3 shots on target to our 1, which we scored off, obviously. They've had 1 on target, and we've had 2 shots off target. We've had the 1 big chance. And again, it's really weird because the lot of their stuff has been not hit truly. I mean, it's been on target, but it's been very weak shots.
Yeah, they haven't really threatened.
No.
I mean, there's been a couple that were dangerous, but the final shot ended up being quite tame, or it was a good effort, but it wasn't close. So, again, it never really made you nervous.
No, but you can see the effort that the Mackhams are putting into this, because, like, obviously they're really trying to get in, because they've won 9 duels to our 4. So obviously that I said it's getting a little bit bitty in and around the midfield, because they were just overpowering us in midfield. We was too spread, and any 50-50 ball, they've got quite a narrow shape to themselves. And then obviously
looks like Furness may have been subbed off because I don't see her red hair.
coming back on. No. So it's going to be interesting. Let's
I think
see
it
what,
was. I think it was. Maybe it was Sophie Haywood, number 15. I think is who I saw was maybe who's on. That's wasn't on in the first half.
Okay.
So
I must admit, I did see Furness hold a hamstring.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering whether she'd got a little bit of a hamstring.
It does appear that it was Sophie Haywood that came on for Furness. Again, you can always tell with her vibrant red locks whether she's back there or not. So, and again, some of the players, I must admit, some of the ones that aren't like the week in and week out starters, I still sometimes get confused on. So they're saying it was Hannah Greenwood on the screen. So looks like I was no, I was right, Greenwood.
I mean, nobody ever doubted you, Josh.
I did. I was waiting for people with the pitchforks, you know.
Absolutely, as always. But yeah, I mean, I must admit they have put it to us. They put us to task. Sunderland have since the goal went in. They certainly haven't been a team that's just said no. You know, we've had enough. And like I say,
they've given a little bit of a fight. Yeah, but I would say the effort though still hasn't really made me nervous. I mean, they've gotten through the midfield, but a little bit like us, there's never really been anything for the final ball to make me really nervous. You know, there's been one or two that they were in a dangerous position, but fortunately the shot didn't come off for them very well. So in the end, you know, you're breathing easy. So I still think I'm feeling quite encouraged on what the result will be. So
like I say, it always seems to be like three bodies around our one.
Yeah, they close us down quite quick, don't they? Just Thing is, at the end of the day,
what a ball that just danced
stop
on
a
the
ball
line.
getting passed.
That was a lucky shot by Body that it just stayed on the line like that. Sibley. Oh, what a ball to Hales.
Oh, well done.
She's a big girl, though, when she Hales.
Watt cutting in. Oh, nice. Back heel. Just a bit behind her, but we earned a corner.
Yeah.
Are you back? Are you behind me? Behind me then?
Yeah, I think
I'm at 47:30.
Yeah, you're about 10 seconds behind. So I'm
going
to stop it just before the.
Can you check your bar?
I'm at 47.
Tell me when you're on 45.
It's only a couple of seconds. Yes.
Oh, it's in.
Come on.
It's in.
Yes.
It's in.
Come on.
Keegan Stubbs.
Come on.
Sorry, Gary. It just all happens.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Unbelievable.
That was like, again,
out of nothing.
Just literally at the back post and floated into the back stick, hasn't it?
Or was it Lumsden? They're all hugging Lumsden.
Well, everybody's just saying Lumsden. It's gone straight in. It was really strange.
Yeah.
It might have just been right in.
Keeper tried to get it, but yeah, it was. It looked like he just went right in because he came over the top, and the keeper tried to get.
Let's get ourselves re-synced. I'm at 48:35 now. What are you guys at?
Oh, you.
About
Let me just resync it because I'm a little bit behind you guys, I think.
Okay, so I'm paused at 48:50. Tell me when to go.
Well, now I've done a usual thing. I'm on a little bit of a thing. So I am on 49:05 now. What are you on?
Okay, we're right in sync.
Okay. Just before they kick off.
Unfortunately, I don't know if you guys got halftime commercials. I think what threw it off is I was reminded that there's a lovely political election coming up during halftime. So I was
I had a when I had a reset just. I had the same, obviously not a political one. It was just a bloody advert.
Yeah, I got an advert.
Will's saying actually finished chances today, not like Durham. Exactly, Will.
Yeah.
We just didn't take our chances against Durham. And like I say,
yeah,
one
yeah.
silly goal against, and we're done.
Bear Viking roasting me. Josh repeating it's in, sounding like my ex.
Right, I'm on 50 minutes now.
So
I think
I'm
we'll
at
probably
50
a couple of
even.
seconds.
Sorry, I missed that. What are you guys at?
50-15.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like 2 seconds behind you, I think. It's good enough for government work.
Yeah, it's close.
As my grandfather would always say, good enough for government work. So there we go. There's that security we needed for sure, because that'll allow us to make a slip up, heaven forbid.
Well, we can't relax because
Well,
I think goal difference could be a
definitely
big
can't
thing on
relax. But just saying, it gives you that little bit of a buffer now. You know, you can make that.
You've got to think about
mistake.
what they did against Charlton last week. You know, ended 3-0.
Oh, Keegan Stobbs, what a ball through.
Right.
Come on, Hales.
Oh,
Come on, Hales.
Stobbs.
Stobbs.
Corner.
Almost. Little late, but actually, did she get a corner? Looks like she earned us a corner.
It deflected behind, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just thought she missed it. I just thought
it did look like it at first.
Yeah, it was hard from that
angle to try and get it back.
There was the deflection.
Because at first I thought it was she just hit the side netting sort of thing, but no.
Yeah. It'll be curious who they award that to. Potsy! Potsy almost got it.
I think it was a foul. She was hanging on the back a little bit.
Yeah, to be fair, it did look a little like that. But Potsy's always one of our corner threats. She's got a good header on her. On her heed. One of the classic chants that'll ring around Kingston Park at corners.
Yeah. Well, now you've got a bit of an overload. It's a. Go on.
Shayna just not maybe the right final decision.
Yeah.
And there's Potsy.
But it's not a natural position, is it? I don't think.
At least she's
not looked comfortable up there at all.
Yeah, Shayna has that's the only thing. Sometimes Shayna will get those really good opportunities, and then she seems to take just a little too much.
Go on now. Keep going.
Got it under her feet.
Lumsden running too fast.
Jesus.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Man, this is end to end. I'm getting dizzy.
Corner.
Yeah, it is certainly end to end.
Good defense by Sophie Greenwood.
Like Beer says there, it does force Sunderland to come out a little bit and open the door a little bit behind, doesn't it?
Yeah, which will play into our hand. You know, as you guys have been talking about, at times we try to build too quickly when we don't need to, but that will make hopefully those passes have better avenues because they won't have as many people sitting back.
But I just don't see anybody, even though we've got, like say, these header over the ball from the Rock team.
Enough to get the heart pounding for a second.
It's really for me. I just don't see we've got anything up front with any pace at the minute. To cause them any worries. I mean, Hales just doesn't seem as she's got the pace to get behind them.
Yeah, no one's electric with pace. I mean, Barker sometimes can beat a player with her pace, but I wouldn't say that's ever really any of the players' games that I can really think of. That it's more kind of like, you know, when Barnes would get the ball. You know, if Barnes has got the step, then he'll be able to. He has enough pace to maintain his beating of the man, but.
Thing is, with Hale, she's a big girl, so she's not got that.
She is
stamina.
Yeah, she's
stamina. Yeah, So I suppose that the more the game goes on, the more she's going to get less fit. Having the stamina. So
Yeah,
she
I
could
would
be
say
maybe the person we take off, maybe, unless you want to play a more defensive game.
I think Becky's more likely to make a sub probably in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What a pass out from Claudia Moan.
That was either a cracking
Come
pass
on,
or very
it,
lucky.
inside.
On.
Just
Lumsden.
I'd love it. I'd love it if that Lumsden could get the hat-trick. That would be fantastic.
I would love it.
Love it.
Here.
I will love it. Love it. I will love it. Love it. I will.
We got King Kev here.
Yeah, when I met him, it was the season we went down when Shearer looked after the team at the end of the season.
Cheers for all you guys that have stick along with us. Make sure, again, hit that like button. It really helps us out. If you're new here and you haven't seen us, consider subscribing. It's free to do so. And we've got daily content, usually multi-times a day content. So give us a subscribe.
Somebody just put a picture up of
Sunderland to win here.
Ten Hag, and it says Ming the goalless.
Oh, what was that, Jazz?
Come on.
Yeah, that was shocking, wasn't it?
That's it.
That was. If her last name ended with Longstaff, she'd be dead on the streets of Newcastle.
Be gone, yeah, absolutely.
Come on, that's it. Come on.
Well, you got overload now. That's it. Well done.
She couldn't.
Come on, Demi.
Oh,
Isabel.
Go on it.
Oh, Isabel, just too many touches.
She should have passed it. She should have.
They were on the box waiting to shoot, weren't they?
Yeah. Doesn't say the player was there waiting.
Yeah, she should have teed it up. I think it was Stobbs coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Stobbs has got a decent leg on her there. But again, there's Potsy, ever present. Really been impressed. Like I said, after that first game week, she's been back to steady as usual. Olivia Watts looked like she's calmed down a bit too. Not as many rushed, careless passes on the right back.
Yeah. All up to the top. Good head on.
Almost Keegan. Oh, nice.
Come on.
Jazz forward the turnover.
Go on.
Great effort. Great effort.
Great effort. Great ball that was in behind.
That was
Lumsden being on the pass, right? So yeah, Lumsden has been. I think Lumsden's probably got to be your argument for. I mean, she's got to be taken
involved
off.
in everything, hasn't she?
Yeah, sorry, I just saw the keeper. She's got to be taken off. This is the third time she's laid down after doing something. Obviously, she's either wasting time or something's wrong.
She's only wasting her own time now, mate. At the end of the day,
that's it.
True.
I think she may have had a little bit of a bang in the face when they all went up for that challenge at the back stick. Whether she's got a bit of concussion or something like that.
Well, she went down after the first goal, too.
Yeah, exactly.
There's been a stoppage after almost both goals and now this opportunity. So,
well, it seems as if every time she picks the ball up, there's a stoppage.
Yep. Well, while this stoppage is going, I'm going to go empty the tank real quick, gents.
Thing is, have they got a keeper they're going to bring on? That's the thing. Maybe that's why they're not taking her off.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have got. I'm just looking at their bench, and it looks like there is a keeper on there. So,
but are they any good? Are they there just as a body? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens now. Whether she does go up for a.
I hope they don't waste too much time.
No, she's staying on by the looks of it.
Still all right.
I have no idea what's going on with her.
I think this good performance calls for a little bit of fun. I'll go with a seltzer. You know, not too crazy.
With a what?
Do you guys do those much in the UK? Probably not. The hard seltzers?
No.
A what?
Alcoholic seltzer water.
Oh no, we don't have any. I
No,
don't.
see, in England,
You just
you've only got to
drink
mention
properly.
water, and that's it. It's like, what?
That's my water.
Yeah, I love me some ciders. That's true. You guys do the ciders.
Oh, Copperberg.
Oh no, I don't do ciders. It's too sweet for
Yeah,
me. I just
I
snake
do.
bites. I don't do ciders.
I mean,
don't
I
do
do.
steak,
I like the darker beers. Those are my go-to.
Yeah.
Boil.
The stouts and the porters.
Got me water. Boil it up. Put it into a J2O bottle to cool down.
I tell you, do you like Guinness? Did you say, Josh?
Sorry, what?
Do you like Guinness? As you
Yeah.
like the darker beers?
Yeah, I enjoy. I mean, it's not my favorite dark beer, but it's my go-to because most pubs here, that's the only dark beer you can really get on tap.
It's got to be cold.
But I will say the Guinness here versus the Guinness when I was overseas. I mean, your Guinness is so much better and fresher. Oh no!
Oh, penalty? No. Asking for the
No,
penalty there.
Claudia
Stuart.
Moan just
No.
missed kick. I don't think
No.
there was any.
Nah. There's nothing in that. Nothing in that.
Yeah.
at
Didn't
all.
look much, did it?
No, it didn't
I
look
think they
much.
just
It was
made it
just
worse, look worse.
I got nervous because of the missed kick.
Go on,
from,
go on. Stubbsy had a go. Couldn't fit outside the box.
Seagull, the ball seagulls are going to retrieve the ball for him instead of ball
Yeah.
boys there.
I'll tell you something now. That did look like she missed the ball totally and kicked the player. That was lucky, you know.
Too late. I mean, to be fair,
Commentator says
week
he reckons
one,
just
London
touched it.
versus London City, I think Charlotte Potts definitely fouled the girl in the box, and she managed to get away with it. So, yeah, but I do enjoy me some Guinness. Back to what we were saying, for sure. I'll probably have
Right.
1 to 100 of those when I'm over in January.
Oh, absolutely. You have to. The corner swung into that back stick. Oh, just a bit too high this time. And it's,
Just a little too much.
yeah. So anybody that likes Guinness, and if you like rum, yeah, you can always get a can of Guinness with 30 mils of rum. Put it into your Guinness, and then top it up with 60 mils of Coke. You get quite a nice little drink there.
Mhm. See, I do mostly the clear spirits. If I'm going the spirits, I do the vodka and the gin. Those are mine.
All right, got you.
I love
Southampton
me a Tom Collins.
Tom Coblins,
Yeah,
very nice.
I think it's just gin, seltzer
I'm not a gin
water,
person.
and lemon or something, or maybe it's lime. I think.
So it's
I
basically
don't
a
like.
gin and tonic.
I don't drink shorts as shorts. I just find they go too quick.
It's just what we call a gin and tonic, really.
Yeah.
I think there's something else. I'm definitely forgetting something because it's definitely different than a gin and tonic. Because I don't like gin and tonic.
Right.
As much as I like sparkling water and stuff like that, the tonic water is too bitter for me.
So Southampton are
Oh,
winning
what a
2-0
touch.
at Portsmouth.
Say that
Yeah.
again, Steve. What did you say?
Southampton are winning 2-0 at Portsmouth.
Oh, okay.
So the old
Portsmouth are
saying is,
struggling
we
this
hate
season, aren't
Portsmouth, we hate Portsmouth.
Yeah,
The old Southampton fans.
they are struggling this season, though.
Yeah.
Oh. We are penning them back a little bit now. Seems to be more in their attacking third, and they just don't seem
Nice
to keep the ball
intervention
very
by
well.
Greenwood.
Yeah,
To be honest, I'm actually quite surprised Becky hasn't freshened up anybody in the midfield. Just for legs and energy. Not that anyone's per se been bad and deserves to be taken off, but she's usually. I know a lot of times when I watch the game, she makes a change, and I almost be like, "No, don't take her off yet." You feel like they've still got something.
Too early.
She's usually, because there's so much left, and she's got so much depth. She'll make them very proactively. So.
For us to change,
it's really weird to see the change now. After that second goal in the 50th minute, it does seem to have knocked a little bit of the wind out of the Sunderland sails.
Here we go.
Well, we got a good break
Jazz.
here.
Great run from Jazz. Just keep running. Just keep running. Just keep running.
Terrible.
Our league position doesn't change, but if we score 2 goals, it would.
Yeah, but we're still.
I did say goal difference is going
right?
to mean the thing.
Yeah, because 2 goals would put us up to 5th. 1 goal might put us up on alphabetical order, maybe.
We're still game in hand, though, right?
If any of you guys have ever had a slippery nipple, well, I've had a chafe nipple. If that's any consolation. But that's
I've
a
had
different story altogether.
Nipple. I think it's my cousin. Someone I know. I want to say it's my cousin. She loves slippery nipples.
Yeah, I'm not into cocktails and stuff like that. To be fair, my missus is. She loves the stuff.
Yeah,
I tried. Like Bailey's type thing. Aldi's do their own sort of like version.
Yeah.
And I had, what was it I bought the other day? A peanut butter one.
Oh, here we go. What a turn.
Come on. That's it. Oh. That's all right.
Wrong decision again, I think. That wrong. Right. Yeah. The last pass, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of that, unfortunately, today. But hey ho, we got 2. So.
Yeah. Barbara Fay saying about Shola and Sammy again, the Amy Albies, have played together in the game against Chelsea in 2012 and ended up a 2-2 draw. There you go. So there's lots of them.
Oh, what a balls, Demi!
Just gone out, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, just gone out. So there's certainly a lot more emphasis on their side of the pitch this second half. Like I say, it does seem as though they've had the stuffing knocked out of them a little bit. But like I say, 1 goal can change the outlook of the game. Crikey, where's this keeper taking this ball?
I don't know what this officiating on a few. I mean, it's not been as bad as a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I can't remember who. I think it was maybe the Portsmouth one, and I'm just like, what are they doing? Like, it was just they kept walking and walking and walking. And some of these things, sometimes I just don't get too mad because, to be fair, I really don't even know what the rule is and how that works. It's just, I assume you pretty much have to take it where it was.
Well, within the vicinity of the
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think.
They
are a little bit more relaxed when it's in your half, but it's that deep. To be fair, I don't think any referee needs to be that anal. But you are when you're talking 18 yards away from where the offence took place, it does take the Michael a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a couple of the Kyle Walker throw-ins a few weekends ago. It was like he walked walked again. Yeah,
Japadoni saying it didn't go out. They gave offside, but they didn't give offside from where the goalkeeper took it. I don't. Well, again, unless I missed, because my
Well, that must have been what they did and why she took it to the side. I'm guessing they're calling offside, but here we go. Katie,
we're making a change.
On. So who will Katie Barker be coming on for? Sibley. Fair enough.
Yeah, but you said about fresh legs, didn't you? We did look a little bit tired going forward, just.
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't think we've seen a full 90 from Sibley since she's come.
But to be fair, like I say, she's still in that recovery stage, isn't he, for sharpness?
Yeah.
From a ACL injury that she had.
That's true. She did have a bad injury last season that kept her out.
Yeah. So I think that's still going to be, you know, getting her up to match sharpness and strength.
Nice demi body, nice presence.
That's that wrong ball again,
That
though,
was
wasn't it?
bad. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, we have unfortunately seen. We'll see 2 or 3 smart decisions, and then the final one not. I think a little lucky to not get the foul called on them there too. May have been one of those ones that just looked rough, but. So 20 minutes to go plus stoppage time.
Yeah. She's got some space to run into. Come on, guys.
There's Jazz.
Give her something.
With her signature top knot. Not a horrible effort, but a little off.
It's did everything right until the final thing. The Mighty Winds come back in the Solomon Islands have just beaten Tajikistan in the underwater synchronized basket weaving final. Amazing.
I'm gonna slap you, Win.
To be fair, they don't seem to have any idea of what they need to do now. Sunderland, the Mackhams, they're very one-directional down the right-hand side, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's always coming down the right side, really, and you know, if anything, I think that's the wrong side for them defensively because Demi has looked the brighter of the fullbacks. So yeah, fingers crossed. There's still some football to play, but they're really not causing me any anxiety.
Okay. Well, it's really well. I mean, I suppose it's a good ball outlet if you can get to there.
Come on. Oh, good positioning by the Mackham.
Yeah. Just got a body in between the player and the half side right on the halfway line. They're just highlighting the long walk back for the Sunderland player. Yeah, exactly. Another change coming on. Sophie Hayward.
Hayward. So it wasn't Hayward.
So I think that is.
Hales is coming off.
Yeah, it's a good decision.
Yeah, it needs it.
Okay, I was going to say Hayward
needs a bit of pace. Hayward's not got the stamina at the moment.
And again, I think Hayward was another one of the, experienced acquisitions we made.
Yeah, did she come from Sheffield United?
I know someone did. It very well could have been here. Oh, here we go. Katie on the right. Katie orders us a corner. There we go.
Yeah, great ball.
Yeah, Katie has a good cross on her.
Yeah, it was Sheffield United.
It was Sheffield United.
Yeah, July 31st.
So again, look at the tactic. All the bodies around the keeper. So obviously,
it worked. We've already seen it work.
It did absolutely. So. They've just got to put the ball in the right spot now, and hopefully we can get.
Go on.
That's a good punch from the keeper. To be fair.
Yeah. McQuaid's
Well done, McQuaid.
retained.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, what a meg.
Lucky.
What a meg. Good intervention from the
dear.
Macklins. What?
You
Just
see,
a con
this is
offside
what gets
back
me.
there.
How is that free kick from there? You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. The referee has. Thank you. Come on. Now that you watch the keeper now throw it forward. To virtually where it was before. I love it.
Yep.
That's cheeky. That is
Ay,
cheeky.
ay, ay.
But again, like I say, they're not too idle when it's in your own half. As long as it's
Listen,
not.
we
obviously
got to
close
give some
the halfway
charity
line.
to them. They've had tough times down on Tyneside, or Weir side, I should say.
That's it. Come on.
Yep.
Seems we're getting a bit more space in
Come on,
this
Barker,
half.
this is
Definitely
what we've got to be
terrible.
careful of now.
That was bad.
But it's okay. They wasted time on their own. Allowing us
Like
to
I
get
said,
back.
they try and work this ball down the right hand side all the time. That
Yeah.
seems to be the channel that they're trying to get.
And I don't know to be fair, as much as I love watching the Lasses, I don't know much about oppositions because every season we've been getting promoted, so I don't really get to learn opposition players.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's someone very signature down their right side. So
at least now, when we are actually looking for things, with it being the championship, we can actually get to see more information on people. Whereas with the lower leagues, you couldn't get too much information off the internet.
Yeah.
I think if they're going to get anything from what I've seen so far, it's going to be from a set piece.
Yeah.
They seem very, airily strong, if you like.
Yeah,
and that one there just took a little bit of
it
a
was that
deflection.
number
It's got
8
out for a corner.
and number 9. They're quite tall asses.
Cross comes in. And there you go. Just good clearance, actually.
Yep. Good clearance by Keegan Stobbs. Oh, there was another one back there.
Yeah, I'm going to say. I thought she was through.
For a second, I thought Katie had a wide open half.
There you go. And that's just something we didn't need, because this is going to give them that little bit of a boost now.
Yeah.
I think it was Olivia Watt who got a leg onto that one right at the end.
Olivia Watt.
So the ball comes in. It was a little bit of head tennis, and then the ball just drops, and it was Olivia Watts who then just puts a foot to it, and it loops over Moan's head.
Yeah.
And it's an own goal by Olivia Watts. A little bit of, I suppose, panic because of how close she was to. I mean, I'll tell you something now. To lob the keeper from that distance took some doing. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
So she was only about 6 yards out.
Not claiming any foul or anything, but I wonder if there was contact that made her just not, instead of trying to just, really hoof it up.
Yeah, I think it was just panic, like I say, and it was more of a shin than a foot.
True, yeah. Sometimes it can hit your shin
over her head
and just come off with that perfect spin, and fair enough.
Yeah. But like I say, that will give them the impetus for the next 5 minutes now. So we just need to.
But again, that also goes back to what I was saying. It's good we got that second one because it allows for that thing to happen, and it's
Is that first yellow card of the game? Yeah, I was going to say the Stubbs, because there was a little bit of a harsh challenge going there.
I mean, possibly, but I feel like there's been so much of that all game to now give a yellow. It's just.
Oh, dude. Yeah. For impetus, apparently you can get blue tablets for. So.
Oh, dear Viking.
Cheers, everybody.
Trust Beer Biking to bring it down.
Just need to stay calm now.
Yep.
So they're going to bombard this one now, I would imagine. Put it right on to
this is probably going
up
all
and
the way
around
into the
Mount.
box.
That's it.
Now,
Well
come
done.
on, you've
Well
got bodies.
done.
Come on now.
Body.
Right, let's get
Release.
out.
Come on, London.
Oh.
Go
Oh,
on.
that was lucky.
Go on,
That
great
was
ball.
really lucky.
Great ball.
Oh, come on.
Yes, go
Stop.
on.
Come on.
Oh, Stubbs.
Oh, too
Debbie!
slow.
Oh, you needed
Why did you
first
take
time.
a
Good
touch then?
golly,
You
Miss
should have just
Molly.
hit it. Why did you try controlling it?
I think we just
Great
saw
break.
Mickey Almiron.
Really great break.
There's no right foot.
Shouldn't take a touch there. She just allowed them to
You
get
should have
to
just
it,
hit
didn't they?
it.
Oh, that
Should
was
just smash it.
dreadful. I mean, to be fair, she's a fullback, but still, that was
Yeah,
dreadful.
I agree with that. You know, when you're 4 yards out, you're not going to get the opportunity before being closed down if you take a touch.
Oh boy.
Could have been the opportunity we needed.
Shame.
Oh, definitely.
It's a shame Katie wasn't up there because Katie would have pounded that through the net.
There's more blooming birds there than there is fans. I'm telling you now, it's
I
ridiculous
think
the amount
so,
of
yeah.
birds on the field.
So we got about probably 15-ish minutes to go.
Oh,
Oh.
that's it. Slow it down.
Yep. Take your time. No need to do anything stupid.
So that's what drives me insane. She's gone long, and now we're on the edge of our own penalty area, and it only takes something like that to go into the top corner, and away we go. So Mount is going to go long by the looks of it.
I was just teasing
That
him,
much
Foxy.
purchase on that.
I don't have a problem with Miggy. I'm not some people, but it did remind me of Biggie, Miggy having to wait for it to come on a certain foot. Oh, what a soft call. See, that's the stuff that just, to me, again, I know it's probably part of the football that happens and it kills me, but you know, that stuff, if it's in the first 15 minutes, nothing's getting called, and now you'll call it. To me, if it's a foul in the last 5 minutes, it needs to be a foul in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. As I said, the referee has been mostly anonymous. You know, it's
I mean, to be fair, it's
there's
not
been
been
some really
a
harsh
bad
challenges.
officiating. Yeah, it's not been a poor officiating performance by any means. They you know, I think it's been fair overall, but it's just a general thing that I noticed that, you know, you get to the last 10 minutes and every little bump and thing that is given.
Yeah, so I said another half chance from the edge of the box there for Sunderland. It's strange, isn't it? Because you know you're cruising without any looking in any trouble whatsoever, and then they get a lucky goal, and then all of a sudden it swings because every second ball seems to want to drop.
Oh yeah,
towards a red and white shirt now rather than a black and white shirt. So it looks like they've just put another one up top, put a bit more pressure on the back foot. So they're gambling now.
Good header by Potsy.
Again, that right-hand channel seems to be where they want to go. McAteer for Sunderland.
Yeah.
To get it back, it comes central.
Oh,
Nice 1-2 football there.
No.
Bit of a scramble, and it's just cleared.
Cleared by Lumsden.
Come on, they've got on with it, lads. No, lads, lasses. They have certainly got the grip between the teeth now. That's a good ball. Well done, Mo.
Oof.
Yeah, great claim by Moan.
Definitely.
Yep. Just need to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. Tactical time wasting now. Just getting it all relaxed a little bit. Nobody's coming off by the looks of it.
Yep. Giving the armband to Stokes. And Joel is coming on. She's looked decent overall. You know, this season she's made some appearances as well. But I think some of her she's actually played up on the wing, not just in the midfield. I think she's a utility player, so she can play a couple different positions.
And she's the Welsh international, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. She's from Stephen's neck of the woods.
Yeah.
As I always used to joke, I don't remember where, but I have some ancestors from Wales, and as a kid, I used to say I speak part Wale a little bit. There's my Wales joke. Come on, here we go, ladies.
We've gone sloppy, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of like you said. Now that they've gotten the one, it just gives them that opportunity to get the other. I wouldn't say we look exponentially worse than we have at different points. Come on, Barker. Come on, Barker.
Good challenge, to be fair.
At least she pressed her enough that she had to clear it.
Yeah, exactly. It still gives us the ball.
Yep.
We just need to get it up there.
Yep. Good direction from Body telling Olivia to just take it easy.
Come on,
no
ref.
rush.
That's definitely a push there. Come on. That's it.
Yeah, that second one was two-armed.
There certainly shouldn't be any rush to take this now.
Yep.
Run the clock as quick as you can until the referee tells you to get on.
We've got Lumsden on the set piece. I think Potsy is the only one back. Maybe Stokes is back there too. I don't see her up there.
Yeah, Stokes is sitting right
Yeah,
there.
there's Stokes on the left side of the screen.
Too easy for the keeper, guys.
Pardon me. Yeah, that was not a good one. Good awareness by Haywood. Yep.
I lost my internet for a second.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're in the 88th minute now. We're coming up to 89th.
Yep, I'm on 88-34. Newcastle ball? Yes, Newcastle ball.
No, it's going to give them.
Oh, yeah, I got my directions.
You're right. I'm going to stay. No.
My other right.
I was wondering what was going on then. I'm like, yeah, it's got to be a Newcastle ball.
No. I just looked up some
that's going to be
information
Newcastle throw. Newcastle. Oh, come on.
7 minutes injury time according to it.
Just looked up some information on Joel.
Come on, Lumsden.
Go on then, Steve.
She only plays for Wales on family. She never lived in Wales.
Well, that's what
She
a lot of them do,
brought
isn't
up in North Finchley in London, and she went to America, West Virginia University. So
Okay.
she's not the only place because she played. She was in the Watford and Academy, then went to Arsenal before joining Chelsea Academy,
Right.
and then on to the London Bees. So it must be just on her parents or something that she plays for Wales.
Yeah. Corner to the unwashed.
Yeah, and there is definitely 7 minutes injury time, guys.
Yeah, I mean that seems about maybe a touch heavy, but I can kind of see it. I'm not gonna complain too heavy.
No, their goalkeeper's been down multiple times, hasn't it?
Yeah,
And it's 30 seconds per sub, so
yeah. Josh, she played
and
for.
they do 30 seconds per goal, so 2 goals.
She played for North Carolina Tar Heels.
Tar Heels.
Yeah, but she went to university in West Virginia.
they're panning in on the
I was going to say, what is the point of this?
Is that the Sunderland starting 11 right there?
The subs warming up.
Appearance from the Sunderland senior squad.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's certainly got a little bit bitty in the second half, I must admit.
Yeah, definitely.
Not very. There's not a lot of football being played.
Well, her international career, Joel, though, originally she played for England under 17s, under 19s before going to play for Wales.
Well, I suppose it's all about
body. Nice hoof.
I was going to say referee. I mean, you can't. I mean, she was getting held back all the time. Then
that's the inconsistency.
That was pretty bad. Oh, there goes the starting 11 of Sunderland Senior.
Yeah, going for a warm up. Again, every second ball seems to go to a red and white shirt to the second half. Since they've got the goal back, especially. So it's like I said, that extra 5% that makes a massive difference when you can push it through the team.
Oh, who are they going to call? Okay, they're calling a foul. Yeah.
Got a touch of cramp. So Sunderland have got a free kick. Looks like they're just going to throw this into the mix to see what they can get from it. Got to be big, girls. Come on.
Yep, good block from Stoke.
Block on that one. Come on, Joel.
No, come on, Joel.
Run into the gaps now. Run into the gaps.
Run, kill some time.
Yeah, just play
to the Barker.
That'll do. Yeah, that's got to be a yellow card. I was going to say that's a yellow card if I've ever seen one. Thank you, referee. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of people in the chat say about length of games for women. These should be so different to men's, physiologically, or from a spectator point of view.
I ain't buying it.
Lord Rodney Trotter.
No. I know that the youngsters and certain things do like 80 minutes on certain things, but as soon as you get to a certain age, it's 90 minutes.
Yeah. You got plenty of subs, and again, it goes back to, I know there are some you know, you can speak better to this than I, Gary. There are some physiological differences, obviously, but generally speaking, there's nothing that you cannot tell me that a professional athlete, no matter what their gender, can't play that duration. It, you know.
Well, a marathon runner can do 26 miles, whatever.
Yeah.
So if a marathon runner can do it, then you know, so a footballer can do it.
Yeah, I think what everybody alludes to, and it seems to be the same on most levels when it comes to football. Whichever you watch, what they look at is the way the game gets a little bit scrappy, and you can, you know, I'm not being funny, but yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not.
It's not.
I'm just saying
I ain't having any of it. I mean,
that's why you got the subs. At the end of the day, if someone gets tired, you bring someone else on. You're always going to have your better, fitter players. You're always going to have a few players that are not as fit as any others.
Yeah. I mean, I do. There's a. I suppose you're always going to say, you're always going to question what would make the game better on the women's side. But like I say, I suppose it's like everything else. You know, you have to take it for what it is. They certainly don't make running tracks any smaller for women than they do men in the athletics, or you know, yes, there is some adaptations in certain sports, but I don't think it really needs to change at all.
To me,
that's I'm going to say that's lucky.
Oh,
that was right underneath there.
Jesus!
The ball nearly then fell for Stapleton, who had the goal. The goal would have been gaping then, because obviously Moan was under a lot of pressure and had dropped the ball.
Come on.
To me, you know, I think one of the biggest things you got to understand, it's like anything. And again, I always put the parallels to like watching women's hockey versus men's hockey. There are going to be some differences.
5-0. Yeah. Southampton 5-0 at Portsmouth.
Gotcha. Wow. There's going to be some differences, but I think part of that is you know, it's almost like when you watch different leagues. Different leagues have different aspects to it, and I think you just got to look at it sometimes in its own right, as opposed to sitting here and trying to compare it to that. You know, you wouldn't sit there and compare the U18s to, you know, the Premier League or whatever. So I think you have to go into it expecting a little bit different, and that's all I would say.
Yeah. There you go.
That's it.
Well done, girls. It's a 2-1 win.
And that's such an important bounce back after a tough week in penalties against Everton, and then the last minute goal from Durham. Such a vital victory to get.
I mean, like I say, they've still got to get used to each other. You know, this is still a brand new season for the team, and you know, you're not going to get everything gelling, and with not having a main striker in today and everything else, it was a little bit strange, and it was a little bit thin on the ground at times. You know, the ball wasn't sticking, and it was coming. But again, like you just alluded to, you know, we do get that on the men's side as well, don't we? You know.
Yeah. At the end of the day, listen, you know, I understand some people don't enjoy it as much, and that's to each their own. You know, like I said, I admit for me, it's my own personal kind of thing that I really am invested in it, and I want to prioritize it. You know, but I get it. Some people think it's different and whatever. But you know, as long as you enjoy it, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think it was today, because Kenny W says canny crowd and stadium. I mean, to be fair, I think today was set a record for the championship with the crowd. I don't know how many was there, but there seems quite a few in the ground, to be fair. It's not obviously a sellout, but there does seem to be quite a few in the ground. So it was interesting. It was interesting, and like I said, you know, this is a development It's not something that's been going that long. You know, the girls have only just become
I
professional.
mean, they've
It's
only
gonna get
officially
better.
been part of the club, I think, since the takeover.
Mm.
Prior, they were just given permission, you know, under Ashley to use the name and everything, but they were responsible to pay for all their stuff and everything. And again, that's the stuff that, again, to me, regardless of the level, if they're in any capacity supporting the black and white, you know, to me just blows my mind that Mike Ashley couldn't have spent the chump change that it would have been for him to pay that little bit, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, he never saw it as a you know, as we said, if it's not a money spinner, there's no interest, is there?
No, he
You
didn't.
know?
He wasn't interested at all.
And that's why he was a twat.
And the thing is,
that's
for the new owners to bring us into a professional era in the first time ever that a third division side come professional, and that's what the difference this new ownership made. You know, made them full time rather than them working and coming and training and playing games. They were getting paid straight away. You know, the squad was picked. Yes, they took a couple of players out when they went up last season, and streamlined it and brought in some better players. You know, because we were always going to do that, because at the end of the day, they're going to finance the team. They're going to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at the end of the day, as we've seen with Chelsea and things like that, the better they do, it does help the men's.
Of course, it does. Absolutely, and like I say, the crowds are growing. We've seen that, and the girls get a cracking following. And I love a little bit of shithousery there that you've just seen at the end. If anybody was watching the end of the stream, was our lads, you know, all running towards the crowd and getting them going. That was a lovely way to finish the game, I suppose. And Barbara Fraser said a good win, all's well that ends well. Let's hope we can follow suit with the men's game. I couldn't agree more, Bob.
So Charlton
so
next
great
week,
to see you in the chat, Barbara.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Just waiting to see what the outcome of the stats were like. Just have a quick look, see if it changed much. Probably just hasn't updated as of yet, because obviously the game's only just finished.
Yeah,
but,
I was going to just pull up real quick the other games in the league, and then so Bristol City beat Blackburn. Oh, that's Super League 2. Never mind. Why did that show up in the championship? No, they've changed the name. Okay, no, that is it. So Birmingham beat Sheffield 2-1. Portsmouth got shellacked, as Steven said. London City beat Charlton 2-0. So that's an interesting.
That is interesting.
That's spices up the table. And Bristol City beat Blackburn Rovers 2-1. So if we look at the table as it stands, we've now got Birmingham City in a three-way tie for the top against London City and Charlton. So as time goes on, that draw against London City is looking better and better that we had to start the season off with. And then in fourth, we've got Durham, and then Newcastle and Southampton are tied on 10. So all in all, looking good. Bristol behind us with 8, and 4 for the unwashed in 8th place. Blackburn in 9th, Sheffield and Portsmouth both yet to get a point. But Portsmouth not looking very good. They have yet to. No, they have scored a goal, but their goal difference is -21.
It's unbelievable.
So not looking like it's going to be a bright year for our promotion mates.
Yeah, exactly. So the final bits have just come through. So we've now got the last little bit of stats, I suppose we can call it. So we did manage to just keep hold of the ball more than them with 54%. We had 5 shots on target to their 6 shots on target. So it just proves how much they switched in the second half and put us under a bit more pressure, more or less post after the goal, to be fair. They had 4 off target, we had 3. They both had 1 big chance. We had 1 block shot. But, you know, apart from that, you know, again, like I said, it seemed to me as if we were losing a lot of the midfield today. With 15 duels won by them and only 7 for us. Corners 5 and 6. We just beat them. But again, it looked like we had a lot more fouls than they did, which, like I said, I suppose that come on a little bit later in the game, and we ended up having 2 yellow cards to their 1, which obviously is a little bit of a change in the second half, because again, I don't know whether it was tiredness or it was just the will to get the ball back, but it just seemed as if we did lose a little bit of little bit of our way in the latter stages of the second half. But you know, at the end of the day, we've got the result. It's onwards and upwards, as Barbara said, and at the end of the day, we can only bring on the next one.
That's it.
Yep.
And it's a learning game, isn't it? We said that this season is going to be experience. It's going to be a learning. And if we can keep close to the top, very much like the men's team, you know, you have to think about it. If you stay within touching distance, results can sometimes go your way.
I mean, right now, with our game in hand, if we win our game in hand, we're tied at the top with the leaders.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's just getting that extra game now. We can be up in the mix. And even that puts pressure. It puts added pressure on the teams in and around us, because, like I say, they know that you're actually going to fight for the right to be there. So, you know, from my point of view, I know Stevie's got to go, and I know you've got to go. Josh, myself, and my family are waiting for me to obviously go and spend a bit of time with them.
My wife is waiting for me too.
So next week, Charlton, 12 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, it's the we're at Charlton, aren't we?
Yeah, Charlton, 12 o'clock. Is it? Are we at Charlton?
I think we would probably be at home. Usually it alternates.
I think we might. I'm not sure. Let me just.
Let's have a quick look.
It was here just a second ago. I could see the fixtures. We are home to Charlton.
Yeah, if you guys want to see more of this, make sure you smack that like button and to show to our boss that you want to see more of this.
Yeah, and we're away to Birmingham the week after, but it's a 3 o'clock kickoff.
The Birmingham match, I've got it here. There's a 2 o'clock kickoff.
Well, it's showing up on the Barclays site as a 3 o'clock kickoff for some reason.
Oh, right, okay.
So we'll have to check that.
We'll have to confirm it.
They're saying it's going to be YouTube, so we'll have to confirm that.
Yeah, and like, you know, the biggest problem we have, as always, to do the live watch along, we have to have the ability to watch it. So not all games are available at this present moment in time. Things could change. So when there is a live game that we can commentate on, and you can be part of the family. Thank you ever so much for everybody that's joined us today. Bob, Japadoni, infamous Shaw Billy, Kenny. Obviously, we've got Beer Viking in the background there, giving us some support. We've had Foxy in there. Lord Rodney Trotter has been in there. Hells. And the Mighty Wind's been there. So, again, thanks to everybody. And obviously, Chris has been in the background. Thanks to everybody that has watched. Don't forget to smash that like button for us. Like I say, this is a brand new venture for our channel. Myself, just wanted to get into the lady side, and like I said, the lads that have joined me today, thank you very much, Josh, and thank you very much, Steve, because these guys have got a lot more experience on the ladies' game than I have. So it's been enjoyable. Thanks ever so much for your support, as always. And until the next one, we're the lasses.
We're the lads and lasses.
All right, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.